Welcome everybody to the Event 6 follow-up event to the stable beta 040 Atomic Dex live party happening out of the Komodo Discord, live streamed to our Twitter and our YouTube. If you're in our Discord and joining us, you can chat with us in the stable beta 040 launch party chat channel. If you are following along on Twitter, then you can reply to that stream tweet. And if you are following on YouTube, you can reply to the live chat there in YouTube. We will scoop stuff up and bring it back here to our Discord. And of course, you can always join our Discord here. We've got an hour and a half of the live party for the stable beta 040 Atomic Dex release that comes with the AtomicDEX.io product explainer page, and a bunch of information regarding what's next for Atomic Dex and where everything is headed now that we're moving out of February and into the next month. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to talk about the stable beta drop, which had just happened yesterday for Atomic Dex. It is the 040 stable beta is now live. I'm going to put the blog post up for it so that people can see it that are watching here at the Discord or following along out there on the streams. And Delton wrote this this blog post, or who is our director of content here, the person that's doing all the wonderful writing. We've got Otto, the CMO. We've got Charles Gonzalez, PTYX, who is the leader in our biz development relationships. We've got Delton, if I didn't mention him already, who is doing all the wonderful content. We have members of our community here in the stable beta 040 launch party voice channel and chat channels. And I'm Jay Charming. I'm working, doing all kinds of little fiddly bits here at Komodo, trying my best to help out the project where I can. So what I want to do is invite Delton onto the microphone, too, if you'd like, to talk about the stable beta is live and go through a little bit of and talk about how it's such a milestone achievement, and then we'll move on after that to a conversation about the stress test results, because the stable beta, as you'll find out from this coming conversation, is one of the primary results of the stress tests that we can do. We'll do a little bit of an application showcase on Atomic Dex, followed up by a website showcase of AtomicDEX.io, and then we'll move into the games, the bounties, and all the kinds of stuff, and the conversations and the interviews and the AMAs and stuff that we have going on. So, Delton, are you there?
Yep. How's it going?
Oh, good. It's going pretty good. It's the release party event was pretty big yesterday, with a lot of voices and a lot of people.
Yeah, I was glad to see a lot of participation.
Yeah, it looks like we have a lot of people in our Discord active again today, and people watching out on our channels. So tell me a little bit about the Atomic Dex 040 is live, stable beta milestone achieved. This just what's what you have going on here. This is great.
Right, yeah. So we have a blog post that talks about Atomic Dex 040 stable beta release and why it's a major milestone for Komodo and Dex technology. So a lot of this is based on improvements made since the Atomic Dex stress test, which took place in December. We'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, the Komodo developer team has been upgrading the Dex experience, or we call it Dex experience, for crypto traders and holders alike. So basically, just making everything more user-friendly for anyone that wants to use a DEX and anyone that wants to use a non-custodial multi-coin wallet. So this blog post goes over basically all the features. So at the top, you'll see a download link. But if you don't know how to download Atomic Dex and you need instructions, in addition to this video content, we have also written instructions where you can just follow the instructions there to know everything you need to get started with your wallet and making your first trade and everything you need to know. So with this 040 release, there are several new direct listings. It's like over 100 new ERC20 tokens and several QRC20 tokens as well that you can now add like really easily in the Atomic Dex. And you can also trade these as well on the Dex. And we also have a few new Komodo-based projects, such as Wall Street Bets and Soldier Coin. They're built using Komodo independent blockchain technology. Uh, so you can find these on the 040 release as well. And just like the overall visuals on the 040 release are just another major upgrade. So for instance, on the wallet tab, you'll see a new interface, basically for the charts. So you can see the price trends. Again, another upgrade. And then we have a look at a trading pair, which this one is Bitcoin and KMD, BTC and KMD. And you can basically toggle between all the different coins listed on AtomicDEX from this tab. And then finally, we have a screenshot of a successful atomic swap. So in this case, this is Rick and Morty test coins. And basically here you can view the atomic swap process in real time. So you get all the data, you see how long it takes, what step you're on. And then when everything's complete, it goes to the history tab. So you can always view that data after the atomic swap is complete. And then we have a few release notes, just basically summarizing all the new features, enhancements, and fixes. So there's a lot of cool new things there that you can read the list. Lots of nice emojis as well to kind of guide the post. And yeah, like at the end, we also have the Atomic Dex user guide series. So basically, this is a series of different blog posts where you can learn more about Atomic Dex, how to use it, how to set up a wallet, making trades, and also all the different features um, combined from all the previous releases as well as this new 040 release.
Thanks for guiding us through the 040 stable beta release for Atomic Dex. It's a huge milestone, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I know the next thing we want to talk about is the is test results. We want to make sure to get anybody that has the opportunity to watch and join in. That information as the table 00 is one of the results of us getting to have such a successful stress test. Do you feel like that's a good enough segue into the stress test? Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think that's good enough segue into the stress test. So yeah, I can talk about some of the key takeaways from that.
All right, let's head on over to it. I'll grab the link. Be sure to throw it up because you made a super great post about this too. Stress test final results. Boom.
Yeah, so basically we've had like a lot of takeaways, graphs, and data from the stress test. So the number one thing is just that we have basically proven that Atomic Dex and the underlying Komodo DeFi engine is a scalable technology and it's ready for widespread adoption. So the Komodo DeFi engine is the underlying technology that powers Atomic Dex. So it's basically what enables anyone to create their own non-custodial wallet or decentralized exchange. And Atomic Dex is just basically the first GUI application built on top of the Komodo DeFi engine. And during this Atomic Dex stress test, we basically stress test Atomic Dex, and we have several key takeaways. So the first takeaway is that basically the stress test ran on minimal infrastructure, which proved the scalability. If we would have had more infrastructure, of course, we could support more orders, more atomic swaps on the books. And the stress test tested two independent blockchains, Rick and Morty blockchains. So we were able to reach 10,000 swaps per minute. And the CPU resource consumption was quite low throughout the entire event. It was around 5% on average, and even the peaks were really low. And the stress test validated that the Komodo DeFi engine is ready to be used by various projects that want to build their own dexes, want to have their own multi-coin wallet in one application. And it also validated that Atomic Dex is capable of being integrated into IoT devices. So now we look at some of the results from the stress test via graphs. So the first graph shows CPU consumption of Electrum nodes. Again, the CPU consumption rate remained low throughout the entire stress test event, around 5% on average. And next we have the number of participants comparing the 2019 stress test versus the 2020 stress test. And the 2020 stress test had an 820% increase. So we had a lot more unique users making atomic swaps, and they're definitely interested in Atomic Dex. And we also had a lot more total atomic swaps. So we had a 3,330% increase from 2020 compared to 2019.
That's massive.
Yeah, no, like it was so much. I think it's also because the Dex technology is just like able to handle the load a lot better than 2019. 2020 was a big year for this improvement, and now I think like 2021 definitely it's time to ramp up the adoption because this 2020 stress test kind of proved scalability.
That's awesome. That's super awesome.
And we also have a nice comparison here that shows the various ways that people made atomic swaps. So we had over 156,000 atomic swaps. And most people use the command line, or most swaps rather were on the command line. But we also had a lot of people using their mobile devices and desktop as well. And then we have a comparison of all the GUI applications. So Android led the way, followed by Windows, Linux, iOS, and OS X. And later on in this post, we of course have these nice graphs at the top here, but if you want to read more about the exact numbers, we have them all in this unabridged raw data section. And then again, similar to the uh, post, we have the links to the Atomic Dex user guide series where you can learn all about Atomic Dex. Yeah, and that's pretty much it from the stress test results blog post.
That was awesome. Thanks for the overview and putting that out on the live stream and building these great explainers over the stress test results and the stable beta going live. Just uh, some really content out from Moto.
Yeah, I think it was fun to look at this new releases and see what's going on, and just like test out the applications. And yeah, it's good to see the success of the stress test, and yeah, just kind of write about that and cover that, and yeah, spread the word about it.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to be a little bit more swift than yesterday. I think yesterday we ended up spending like 2.5 hours on the live stream, which was great because we had a lot of people commenting on it. We had active participation throughout the whole time, and we obviously have people here now doing it again. However, we should probably try to keep it trim as best we can, especially as we resyndicate out these things. So we're going to move on to talk about the new AtomicDEX.io website. So, along with the stable beta 040 launch for Atomic Dex, there also comes the AtomicDEX.io website as a product explainer page and a place that we can point everybody to that asks the question, what is Atomic Dex? Part of this strategy is that we should always be trying to engage in conversations with people that go, what is Atomic Dex? Because that means that we're reaching new audiences all the time. This also means that if you are already a longtime Komodo follower and have been really interested in Atomic Dex and want to share it with other people, this is now a page that you can share with them. And if you are a longtime Komodo follower or new to Komodo and are new to Atomic Dex at all, you can go here to atomicdex.io and learn a little bit more about what Atomic Dex is and the project behind it. So for the next couple minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about Atomic Dex and what it is and give a little bit of body to this atomicdex.io explainer page. If you go to atomicdex.io, what you wind up with on the splash is this beautiful image cycling back and forth between a mobile and desktop. This is to give visuals to the idea that Atomic Dex lives as both a standalone application on your desktop or as an application on your mobile device. Whichever place that you make a wallet, you can load that wallet into the other one accordingly. That and vice versa. This is it's a standalone, non-custodial, decentralized exchange and secure wallet all rolled into one application. If you have never used or done an atomic swap and are curious about what they are, come to komodoplatform.com, go to our Discord, which we're live streaming this out of, and come and ask some of these questions. You can go visit the blogs as well. Atomic swaps themselves are an incredibly secure technology for trading natively on blockchains coins back and forth. So, for example, being able to trade natively between Bitcoin and Ethereum without having a contract to deposit those coins into, any IOUs, and any proxy tokens. Atomic Dex is built and runs on the Komodo DeFi engine, which is this atomic swap protocol that Komodo has built out. Atomic Dex being this flagship application is an example of a DeFi product that allows everybody to have completely non-custodial power over their own keys. Atomic Dex owns nothing. So whereas in Robinhood you get IOUs for the Ethereum and Bitcoin you're buying, with Atomic Dex you actually own your own Ethereum and Bitcoin. There's instant withdrawals and instant deposits because they are all on you and everything is settled on chain. So from the top of the page, you can choose your download. You can get it from the App Store. You can get it on Google Play, or you can download it for Windows. We also have Linux and iOS variations of that as well. We also have a live counter for the swaps for the last 24 hours, the swaps for the last 30 days, and the swaps in total. This is actually really great because on yesterday's live stream, the swaps for the last 24 hours was sitting at around 79. And on today's live stream, it's already bumped up to 172 for the last 24 hours. That's actually just kind of neat to see. We have some explainers talking about how Atomic Dex is different. Atomic Dex runs off of decentralized peer-to-peer order books. The decentralized peer-to-peer order book system is different than the AM order that most are to see, which really on a smart contract determine where your coins are and when they come out and how you're trading and doing all these other things. For Atomic Dex, you actually have proper order books that you place your order on, and then you pick what orders that you want to take off of them. This makes Atomic Dex technology at its base impervious to all of these impermanent loss and rug pulls and vampire attacks and siphoning attacks that have been going on within the DeFi space. It's just another kind of technology. It's really that next evolution that people are already asking for and are looking for, and it's just great to get this out there. It has the widest cross protocol support because Atomic Dex runs on Komodo DeFi engine. It isn't limited to trading a single blockchain protocol. Every protocol that is integrated into the Komodo DeFi engine is a native protocol that can now interact with another one inside that engine. And Atomic Dex is not the only application that this can be built into. Atomic Dex is just Komodo's flagship application and the proof of concept that something can be built on top of it. Naturally, building exchange option, a decentralized exchange option would be kind of like the classical model, but this is open and available for anybody that's doing asset exchange for any project to get that kind of security landed in their project. Atomic Dex is also a secure trading platform. The- that's because of the atomic swap technology that underpins it. If you're unfamiliar with atomic swaps, or if you're familiar and would like a refresher, atomic swaps themselves are designed such that both traders either receive the funds they desire or nothing happens at all, and both traders retain the funds they started with. There's a series of steps that happen which are hash locked against the Bitcoin blockchain hash rate, and these are very, very secure trades. This means that if I try to send a trade to PTYX Charles Gonzalez, who is our biz dev here in the channels, and and I decide to change my mind and cancel that trade, that there's no way that I'm going to end up taking his money and keeping my trade, or that I'll be too late to cancel it and I'll get nothing out of it, and he'll wind up with both his trade and mine. Atomic Dex really sets the paradigm for a new level of security and decentralization. It's a peer to peer trading platform with no middleman. You own your keys and your coins. You can start trading immediately. There's no deposit or withdrawal wait times because it's all non-custodial. It's simply based on the blockchain mechanics. So if you deposit to Atomic Dex, it just takes as long to get there as it takes to settle on the chain, and you can see it the whole way through on block explorers. There is no unrestricted trading pairs. You can swap all assets that are integrated into the Komodo DeFi engine directly, and there is no trading fee for makers that is built into this system. There is only a taker fee to pay a 0.13% of each trade, and this is put in as a spam and wash trading prevention, or at least a way to discourage that. Wanted to make this as open and agnostic as possible. We also have another topic that we'll be talking about later on during this live stream that's showing up on the atomicdex.io page, and it's a comment that talks about creating your own branded DEX. At the moment, there is a new situation that has evolved where Doge DEX, with all the popularity of Doge, has begun creating a branded DEX based off of Atomic Dex. And basically, what has happened is that Atomic Dex has been forked, and the branded copy for Atomic has been removed, and it has been themed out to be Doge Dex. Because they both share the Komodo, that means that both projects get to share all the liquidity with each other. That means that as the Doge community ends up using this DEX more and more as their option, all that Doge liquidity shows up and gets aggregated onto Atomic Dex. And Atomic Dex is compatible with 99% of all crypto assets. There are a few chains which provide problems at the moment for direct integration into the Komodo DeFi engine. Examples of these that we're looking for solutions for are like Monero, for example, which at the moment there is a community funded proposal that, that is trying to figure out how to do Monero atomic swapping then that are not based on a traditional or UTXO structure, such as block lattice. Those examples would be like IOTA and Phantom, which has been in the news a lot lately, and Nano. But besides that, we have no issue with working in all the rest of the chains into the Komodo DeFi engine. And actually, Ethereum and ERC20 tokens as a whole are all available. So that means that if an ERC20 token is ever built and ever released, it is immediately available for trading on Atomic Dex. The same thing is now true for QDOM and QRC20, and that is if anything on the Qtum ecosystem is built like a QRC20, it is immediately available for trading on Atomic Dex without any more button pushing or anything else like that from the team. KMD and all the smart chains, the independent smart chains that are associated with Komodo, are also on Atomic Dex and are easy integrations, and UTXO coins are the other ones that we are seeking out and continuing to put into the Komodo DeFi engine. We have a nice reminder to try the Atomic Dex if you haven't been convinced already, and a join button to remind everybody to join the Dex network if you have an interest in getting a project listed, in working with Komodo team to get the Komodo DeFi engine integration going on. These kind of things, you can join this Dex network, which is branching out and growing bigger all the time. And then we end with a section of the latest news. So as Delton produces pieces for Komodo and within the blog syndications and things come out inside our library, anything that is Atomic Dex related show up, and the most recent 2 Atomic Dex posts will always be showing up down here at the bottom. Then we have this lovely footer. And that really takes us through the guiding and the what is Atomic Dex, as well as the understanding of the AtomicDEX.io explainer page. Thank you for watching along on this live stream thing. I think I'd like to take a 1-minute break and then be back to do the app showcase and download for so everybody can see that, and then we'll move on to do the game. Is that okay, Otto, to take a minute?
Yeah, while you take a minute to get ready, I will walk us through the game rules and idea.
Sounds great.
So, like on our last stream, on this stream, we will be playing this Guess to Get game. And here on the screen, you can see words that have been hidden with the question marks. So we are looking for 4-word sentence, very short this time. And then this 4-word sentence forms a seed on AtomicDEX. So if you now go and follow the instructions that JC will show on how to download and install and set up AtomicDEX, then you can do that and insert the seed that you think is behind this address. And if you are the first one, then you will find 50 KMD from the wallet, and you simply scoop it up and send to your own address before someone else can, and you have 150 KMD. A little bit about the seed base itself. So it is written with all caps, always, and each word is so separated with one space, like normally with the seed words. And in this first game, there are only 4 words. And once we start playing, we will start revealing the words little by little by revealing a character. So that's all the rules. If there's any questions, let me know in the Commodore Discord and I can answer. And JC, are we ready to move on? The instruction on how to download and install AtomicDEX.
Yeah, absolutely. The game was a big turnout yesterday. I'm really looking forward to the next one of it today. Are we running one of those or 2 of those?
You will have one after the break, and then second one at the very end of the stream.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, let's get into the whole how to download AtomicDEX. So, if first with her at Komodo, and you're hearing about AtomicDEX for the first time, and you want to get a little bit of understanding how to download AtomicDEX, what it looks like, and how to use it, then this is the right place to have found yourself. In order to download AtomicDEX, you're going to want to go to 1 to 2 places to go ahead and pick up that download. You can go to our new product explainer page at AtomicDEX.io, where we have the buttons at the top to download for Windows, to get it on Google Play, and to download on the App Store. And you could always go to komodoplatform.com and you can click the AtomicDEX button in the upper right and grab it from this download button right here, where it will direct whatever device you're on or wherever you're from to the correct download, and you'll be able to start downloading that immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and click the download button, and what it's going to do is it's going to open up my little download window, and it's going to ask me if I want to save it. I will tell it yes. Since I have already saved it in the past so that I can save on stream time, I'm going to go ahead and hit and close this out so that I can just show the download to you all. So now that I've downloaded, I'll go ahead and just drag it out onto my desktop so that I can show you. So this is the AtomicDEX desktop 040 beta Windows installer. In this example, I'm going to be showing how to install AtomicDEX on Windows. I'll double click to open up the installer wizard. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a nice little script to follow through. I'll hit continue and it'll ask me what folder I want to install it into. You will install it in whatever folder normally comes up. I already have AtomicDEX installed on my system. So I am going to go ahead and give it another folder name just temporarily. I'll hit continue. It'll ask me what components I'd like to install. You just leave them there. And then you'll get to the license agreement. The license agreement here is actually really great. If you'd like to take a moment to read it, I would absolutely encourage that. The license agreement comes along with all kinds of information talking about how this is an open source project and open source product, and how it's very important that it stays that way. The language inside this license actually gives volume to that as well. So if you want to use this to make another open source project, you can go in here to the license agreement and copy some of this language, which CH333, our CTO here, that team leads all this, is has put into here to make it easy for everybody else to gain the advantage of the open source building here. You'll hit accept and you'll continue on, and then you'll decide where you want to install it. You'll hit continue, and then you'll do ready to install. At this point, you would hit the install button. I already have it installed, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Assuming that you hit the installer button, what you will wind up is with a little icon on your desktop that says AtomicDEX Desktop. You're going to double click that, and it's going to open up the AtomicDEX. And then it's going to open up to this window. This window will be empty for you if it's the first time ever that you have downloaded AtomicDEX. Here I have several different wallets. You can create as many wallets as you want to for your various different reasons, and you can also go through the process of adding in a wallet that already exists for your wallet recovery steps. We also have the lovely links for joining our Discord, where we're live streaming out of this information. You can follow us on Twitter, and you can go to the Komodo support guides as another option as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through the setting up a wallet for the first time for AtomicDEX. What we'll do is we'll click New Wallet, and then it's going to ask for a wallet name. This is the name that it just shows up in your application so that you know how to reference it. Going to go ahead and give it a name for it's my Ride the Dragon wallet. And then it's going to generate a seed for you. This seed is the most important information that you can have about this wallet. If you have this seed, or if somebody else has this seed, that's who owns the keys. So don't let this seed be known. Since this is out on a live stream, I want everybody to know that this seed actually makes this wallet compromised. So I won't go through or when I finish going through the entire process of making it, I'll go ahead and delete it because wallet list to me keeping safe. This is on the stream. So if you're following along on the live stream, please be aware that you should not let anybody see this. This is for example reasons only. So it's going to ask me to confirm the seed. I'm going to go ahead and copy that seed off to somewhere offline. I'm going to or I'm going to save it to a secure document that's locked behind a password on my desktop. And then I'm going to go ahead and confirm that seed by entering it in. And then it's going to ask me for a password, which I have to make a fairly robust one due to the terms that it recommends. Looks like I got it. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat it. And then from this moment, I'll go ahead and hit continue. And then it's going to ask me some questions like, what is the 19th word of my seed phrase? And then I'll enter that, and it'll go ahead and ask me a few more of those, and then my wallet will be completed and created. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and bother to go through that because this wallet is not going to be useful anyway. So there's no reason for me to actually finish creating it. But those last steps are just to ensure that you have actually written down your seed somewhere else, because it is very important that you do not lose that seed and that you do have it somewhere. So once your wallet has been created, we'll just say that I created the Nakamoto wallet. You're going to go ahead and log into it using the password that you just created. And when you log into it, you get greeted by this lovely dashboard. And then you'll go ahead and enable all the coins that you have balances for. Your dashboard might greet you at all zeros, or if you're importing this from mobile, or if you are if you're restoring it from an old wallet, then you may have balances in here already that you'll go ahead and add. Um, Yesterday on Komodo Discord, we asked the first 25 people that were making a wallet and had no funds in it to go ahead and let us know, and we would send them 10 KMD so that they could start staking their active user rewards. And we ended up sending out more than 25 to people. The idea behind there is that when you hold KMD, as long as you hold at least 10 KMD, you can stake them and get active user rewards, claiming them at least once a month in order to get 5% per year. If you sign up for our newsletter, we send out that reminder at the end of the month, along with the wrap up of everything that we did this month, which includes all these lovely live streams. And now we have here the wallet. You start out on the dashboard, and that is how you create the wallet. I'm going to go ahead and give a 2-minute walkthrough to what is AtomicDEX as well. So that's out there. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to all the games and everything else that we have planned for today. Thank you, everybody that was here yesterday, for following along with this and sticking with it. There's going to be people that are watching this stream for the first time, or that find this stream, that have never seen this before, and they'll want to know about this kind of situation. Our team is answering questions in the channel at the Stable Beta 040 launch party, and picking up questions from the Twitter, from the tweet stream, and from the YouTube stream as well, and carrying them back here. So if you want to get heard, you can go ahead and just chat with us there. And I'm going to go ahead and take just a couple minutes to go through the features of AtomicDEX desktop and talk about like what it is. Yeah, we have Cypher saying smash the likes on YouTube. Please do. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube, smash the likes, get some attention if this is something that you like. Join our Discord and join the active and live conversations that are happening here all the time. We've been doing live streams and webinars all this month. We have a huge content plan for the rest of the first half of the year out of Komodo. If you want to know what that looks like, just go to komodoplatform.com and you can do the explore Komodo in 2021 and look at the first half of the marketing roadmap, which is a blog post that has been put out detailing all this. And you can sign up for all these various things, or you can check out what's already been done, like here, or like what's been done here in January. You can also go to our community page on komodoplatform.com and see what's currently going on, such as the February event scheduler, which next month this will roll over and turn into the March event scheduler, so that everybody can see that information there. You can also, of course, check out our developer page and find out the latest progress information and notes there, and find out where Hub is and the Cortex and Wolfa. And you can head to the page where you can talk to Earl Solis, PTYX, and Polycrypto Blog, who are the two main biz dev leads here that are always working tirelessly to get Komodo out there and into other relationships and those kind of situations. Now back to the feature review for AtomicDEX desktop. So what we have is we have AtomicDEX here. We have it on Windows on the desktop. It is a standalone application. It is a non-custodial multi-coin wallet that does peer-to-peer trading on decentralized order books. When you open this, you show up at the dashboard. If you have multiple coins showing, you can always check to click the button to show only coins with balances. If you want to add a coin, you can go ahead and hit the plus sign, and these are all the coins that have been integrated into the Komodo DeFi engine, which is what AtomicDEX runs on. This engine is a native blockchain aggregator that helps people trade peer-to-peer natively on various blockchains with each other. This list goes on and on and on. There's been so much great work done to improve this list and what's all on it, and it's still continuing to grow, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Then we have the wallet, which is where the coins are, which is where you can see where the coins are interacted with, and you can actually figure out, like, if for sending, receiving, swapping. This is just like a normal wallet. It just has a very, very beautiful GUI interface with it. So what we have is we can send, we can receive with a little QR code, which is especially nice on mobile. And we can go to the swap tab, which takes us to the Dex tab, which is the next thing I'll talk about. And here we have swapping of Bitcoin against Komodo, and there's some liquidity here resting on the Dex. There's more and more liquidity coming on all the time. Sometimes it's a little bit slower for some pairs, but it's all coming here as we're continuing to move on. And we're seeking out stronger and bigger liquidity solutions as the months move on to help everybody that wants to trade on here, and is looking for like this kind of non-custodial option, because there's nothing else that really exists like this in the space. Everything else is on smart contracts or on centralized exchanges, or it's not really a DEX. It's just, this is extremely unique. From the trading interface, you can select what coins you want to trade, what your pairs are, what your main pair is, your counterparty. And then you can go ahead and you can choose to sell or buy. You can choose the price, the volume, like the amount, and you can use that with the slider as well, which is this nice little feature to be able to add to that. And then you can start the swap process. We also have this fantastic multi-order button that has been built into AtomicDEX. And what this is the one cancels the other button. So if I have some Bitcoin and I want to rest it on the order books against like 10 different coins because I want to catch that next big dip, then I can go ahead and sell my Bitcoin into various pairs, click that multi-order button, and then make one Bitcoin worth 10 on AtomicDEX. And then the first order to get tagged and filled cancels all the other orders that are resting on the DEX. Because atomic swaps are peer-to-peer and they only allow that one trade to be going on at a time, this is that situation where we can do something that nobody else can. We don't have to do fractional reserving, like the way that centralized exchanges will take in some Bitcoin and then they'll use it to make all kinds of fractional reserves and situations on their centralized exchange to make it appear that there's no more volume and liquidity than there is. In this situation, you get to choose which pairs and how many you want to rest it against, and then it turns into a one cancels the other order, which is a very wonderfully imaginative solution for how we can get this situation going for adding liquidity to the DEX and adding depth to those order books. And then we have the address book, which of course is always a great thing to have as part of any DEX. You can add a name, you can add tags, you can just get those contact in there for the people that you send stuff to all the time. We have a settings tab, which lets you choose the fiat that you would like to weigh your AtomicDEX dashboard against. We have an option to enable desktop notifications or turn them off. There is a logs folder here, which if you ever need support and you come to our Discord, this is a great thing to be able to have and share as you open up your logs and then save the log. Your most problem. You view your seed and private keys here. The disclaimer in terms of service in case you ever want to read them again. Up a camo for your password. And of course, there's the reset configs and delete wallet options, and then you can log out from here as well. There's also a support, which has our most frequently asked FAQs and the links to our Discord, Twitter, and support guides that you see when you first log in. It also shows you if you are up to date and what version of AtomicDEX you have, and you can click on that to grab the changelog as well. We also have a button for privacy, which if you turn that on and you won't be able to see, you won't be able to show your balances, for example, which is nice. And we also have this wonderful light UI theme for those that aren't into the dark theme, and it skins this whole Atomic Dex with a different theme for that, which is also really lovely. And that's really the walkthrough and the features for Atomic Dex 040 stable beta. I appreciate everybody tuning into this live stream, and we're going to go ahead and take a short break and then come back to have the game with Otto, where everybody can learn some bounty and prizes, and we can also get into all the new stuff and conversations. So if you were here yesterday and you're curious if it's just going to be a repeat of the same, all the duplicate stuff is pretty much out of the way. So thank you for coming by, and we'll be moving on for the rest of the live stream party. Thanks, everybody.
I got room and with emotion. Please me now, 'cause we're about to.
I was totally just grooving out to that music and responding to people in the YouTube chat. All right, we are now back from the break for Atomic Dex Stable Beta 040 Launch Party Day 2, the 6th event that is happening here in February out of Komodo Discord. Atomic Dex is a multi-coin, peer-to-peer, decentralized exchanging, non-custodial application, all wrapped up in one place. If you're interested in getting it or trying it out, you can probably see it here on my screen right now. I'm showcasing it. You can go to atomicdex.io, where we have our product explainer page of what it is, and you can go to the place where it was created from, which is Komodo, and you can come visit our Discord. The best way to get there is to go to komodoplatform.com, which is our website. You can get Atomic Dex by hitting the Atomic Dex button in the upper right and getting it from our wallets page as a result. Or you can scroll down and you can join our social media channels that are down there at the lower right in the footer. You can also find out more about our project in general from komodoplatform.com, whether you're a business person and looking for integration, whether you're a developer looking to build on top of the tech that we have here, or whether you're part of the community and want to understand more about what the events are that are being run, like what was happening all in February with our webinar and live event series, and what the information is surrounding Komodo and the KMD community currency here, go ahead and visit that spot. So what we've got going on now for the rest of this live stream is a couple of chat topics from team members from Komodo. And we have Otto, the CMO, who is going to be leading us through a couple of games to earn prizes. We've got, as a reminder for those that don't know today from yesterday, if you go to komodoplatform.com, or if you go to, the Komodo platform subreddit, what we have is we have the Atomic Dex Stable Beta 040 party happening there out of our sub as well, where we're rewarding 500 KMD if you follow the rules and instructions. This is led by Churro. Shout out to him for putting together this contest. And we have all kinds of meme submissions which are coming in here, which is absolutely great. I'm just going to pick a couple at random and see if I got lucky for the... Oh man, I love the meme submissions. Oh. Nice. So you can go ahead and join that Reddit contest to earn some KMD. I also recommend that you go to our Twitter, where you can find out more about Komodo platform, and it's our main microphone right now. All of March is about expanding out to multiple social media platforms so that we can find out more about that kind of information. Let me just drag it out here. Here we have our Twitter, and pinned to the top is the Stable Beta 040 beta is live story tweet there. You like the prior, give a tweet, a like, or everything. Here we go. Just kind of boop. An absolutely phenomenal Twitter presence that we have going on here. Really, really great. What we also have is the Nakamoto Knights here out of Discord. If you're interested for ways to get further involved with Komodo and spread the word, Nakamoto Knights was something we talked about yesterday. There is a Twitter following for that, where we shout out the instructions from, and it mimics a lot of what comes out of the komodoplatform.com, or the Komodo platform main Twitter. But the Nakamoto Knights are an organization of community members here which have been working to retweet, and the Komodo team works to send out rewards in reply. These are similar to the Chainlink Marines. if you're familiar with that story, or Zilk's Social Pay 2.0 program. These are one of the ways in which these coins got rocketed into the top 100, which is what Komodo is seeking to do for its KMD coin. And you can join that part of the process revolution there. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Otto now, who is going to give us some games that we're going to follow up on, and then I think we have a couple discussion topics, and I'll go make myself present on the YouTube chat channels and follow along with the game here.
All right, so here you can see the address loaded up with 50 KMD. No one has claimed. The game is starting soon. Here is the game. It will have 4 words. But before we go to this game, I think we will let the P2I talk about branded dexes. He's been waiting, and he's all ready and set with his webcam and everything. So right after P2I's presentation, we will have this game. Then we have a video from CA talking about the vision for 2021 and kind of industry insight and his thinking of what's going to be happening and so forth. And then right after that, we will then play the second game for the second seed and second set of 50 KMD. So I'm gonna hand off the microphone here to Charles Gonzalez, also known as P2I. And P2I will tell us about more about AtomicDEX and specifically the business side and the branded dexes and how anyone can launch dex that is running on the Komodo DeFi engine. Oh, P2I, you are muted. We cannot hear you. Okay. Something was coming through. Okay, well, P2I has to reconnect, but it doesn't matter because in the meanwhile we can play the game, and then after the game we can get back to P2I. Or are you there now, P2I? We are hearing your keyboard.
We're getting closer.
Something's coming through.
I don't know what's happening with my mic.
There we go.
Then you are here now.
There.
Okay.
Okay.
It must have been an issue with I had like this extension, but anyway. All right, I'm back.
Okay. You are good to go. We got everything working now.
Perfect. So some of the community has seen that we have promoted something called the Doge Dex. And a lot of people have questions of why we're doing this. What is the Doge Dex? And just to answer some of those questions, the Doge Dex was actually built using the AtomicDEX stack. So we're using the AtomicDEX network. We are using the AtomicDEX graphical interface. And what we've done is that we have branded it for the Doge community. We've added some features that will cater to the Doge community. And this is the strategy that thing why Komodo, for example, is not at the forefront of the Doge Dex is because the AtomicDEX network is agnostic. So what we're doing is that we're removing barriers for other communities to actually use this technology and make it their own. For example, a Doge user will be more weary of using the DEX if we call it the Komodo DEX, because now they have to understand what Komodo is, why do we need to use this for Doge. But if we name it the Doge DEX, if we make it towards the Doge community and explain that fees are paid in Doge, then it becomes something that's theirs, and they're more likely to use it. And that's what we have done, and it has worked. We see the interaction that we're getting from the Doge community. The Doge developers are actually giving us feedback on how to improve the DEX. And not only that, we actually have been able to negotiate a different DEX, the Gleek DEX, which will be developed in the coming months and will be released. And it's the same idea. It is a branded DEX that is using the Komodo technology. And the beautiful thing about it is that not only does it let a project build on Komodo and make the application and the network their own, but it benefits every single variation of the DEX that we launch on AtomicDEX network. So, for example, all of the liquidity on the Doge DEX will be available on the AtomicDEX graphical interface, and it will be available on the Gleek DEX graphical interface, and all of the other DEX variations that will be launched in the coming years. That really is the whole idea of the branded DEX, and I think it nails on the head of what Komodo is trying to do, which is build an agnostic platform that anybody can use. Also, it gives us a lot of outreach outside of the Komodo ecosystem, which is quite small when we compare it, for example, to the community of Doge or communities of larger projects that are 10 or 20 times as large as Komodo. It gives us a lot of outreach towards those communities, and it gives us another level of collaboration with them. For example, the Doge developers are actually able to use the AtomicDEX API to build out their own applications, to build out layer 2 solutions on the AtomicDEX network. They can use our SPV infrastructure to connect their mobile wallets to it. So there's a lot more going on than just the branded DEX, but that's basically the gist of it. So if any project is interested in launching their own DEX or being added to the DEX, reach out to us, go to AtomicDEX.io, you click join us, fill out the sheet, and we'll get the message and we'll get back to you. That pretty much covers it.
All right, thanks, PTY. So
No
how
problem.
do people, can we walk them through again? Like, how do people contact you and the business team or Komodo if they
Sure.
want to partner or build something?
If you're interested in the AtomicDEX, you can navigate to the AtomicDEX.io website. And actually, Otto, if you go on the website, you'll see that there's a button that says "Join Us" at the top. You click that button, it'll take you down to the form, and you just click join. You fill out the form, and then one of our business developers will be in touch with you. It will be either myself or Jason or someone else from the team will set up a meeting with you. And one of the first things that we do is try to determine if the blockchain that you're trying to add or build for is compatible with the DEX. Most blockchains are, but some require some different types of development to integrate. And if that's the case, we'll go through the code base. We'll let you know when it needs to be done. Once we have that out of the way, then we start working on the planning for the actual development of the GUI, which can be either mobile, desktop, or both.
Sounds good. So anyone has any questions for P2I? We can take maybe one or two.
Mm-hmm. Other questions on YouTube?
Yeah, we are monitoring YouTube and of course Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, we are also live on Twitter.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting with the Doge DEX. A few of the Doge influencers have picked it up. I think there's someone who is tweeting as like 1,000 followers. The and with the Doge devs in order to get their feedback, add features that will help the Doge community, and then obviously all of those features that we add can be added to the normal DEX. For example, the Fiat on-ramp, which I think is the one major thing the Doge community is asking for. They're asking for a way to buy Doge with debit cards and credit cards directly into their wallet. So we have added that to the roadmap. It's a fairly easy integration that we're gonna basically also do on the regular Dex.
Sounds good. So I think while we wait for questions, we are gonna go in and start playing this game. And then
Okay.
if you get questions, we can always get back to P2I and get those answered.
Sounds good.
So I just quickly explain one more time the rules if someone new person joined. So there's a 4th word seed phase here, and we will start revealing the characters of this sentence. And you need to guess what it is, and when you think you know it, then you go and add that seed as a custom seed to your AtomicDEX wallet. You log into that wallet, and if you find 50 KMD from there, it means that you guessed correct. And then you just go and fast try to send it back to your wallet that you have secured with the real seed phase and pass phase. And about the seed phase, so it is in this case, like I said, 4 words. It is written with all caps, and the words are separated with 1 space. There's no special characters, there's only these 4 words with spaces between them. And now I'm looking at the party channel here on Discord. I'm gonna need people to drop in letters that should be reviewed. So let me know the first letter and we can get this going.
Always start with K.
D. Well, not this time. Alright, there's 2 Ds.
We got Cypher asking, can we try K, please?
Oh, I missed that somehow. Alright, K. Let's go to K. There is no K. Right, next we have M. We got 1 M. And there you have it. Right, next pool is requesting E. We got 3 E's. Okay, I think we are getting there. Now it's time to start monitoring who's gonna be claiming this. So let's check if the KMD is still there. Gonna just find the screen. Here we go. And it seems it was claimed. So you requested too much, guys. It was very fast.
That's pretty quick. Wait, they already solved it? Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
gone.
can't.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I think somewhere I think
forgot
here is
what it was.
the exact timestamp. Or no, it's not here.
The people should play at the game shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on this minute, so. Well done, congratulations, who got it? Wait,
Mm.
it was actually, it only got 2 confirmations already. That's crazy. So someone guessed it really fast at them. Okay, but well, let's reveal what it was. So it was much Doge, very Dex.
Are you kidding? Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right.
That's funny.
All right, do we have
That's a
any
good one.
questions for P2I?
Questions.
Yeah, do you think that Doge Dex will be the only branded version of Atomic Dex out there?
Nope. We already are in the process of building a second one for a different project that reached out to us. And we have the possibility of a third one in the coming, I'd say, 2 to 3 months. So I think we'll see a lot more of these. At the end of the day, it comes down to the resources that we have to actually build them out fast enough and the appetite of other projects to build their own apps. But from what we've seen, there definitely is a market for it. There's, because it makes it a lot easier for the project to actually own it instead of using someone else's technology. So I think that we'll have a lot more branded dexes in the future. I think I heard recently that the Ravencoin community would be interested in something like this. So for a community like Ravencoin that doesn't necessarily have like a centralized entity that we can go to and say, hey, do you want the DEX? This is how much it's going to cost to build. We could possibly get the resources from the community itself. So like donations. I mean, we have to think of ways if there's a project interested in it and they can't necessarily fund it because it doesn't have a centralized team, that we can possibly get their community involved to actually fund it.
That's awesome. So here's another question that I'm sure somebody will want to know a little bit more about as well. Is that with limited resources and limited dev time and all these kind of issues and situations, what's the primary advantage of making branded dexes either along with or other projects? I know that you kind of gave some voice to it during your talk, but just to kind of answer it directly, like why would we spend time like working with or even making branded dexes for other projects? Like what's in for Komodo and AtomicDEX besides financial freedom for everybody, of course.
I think the major or the most clear benefit to the AtomicDEX network and Komodo as a whole is that when we build an AtomicDEX, a branded DEX for another project, we usually are expecting that that project will be able to add liquidity to the DEX via the users, or even the core project itself will basically make a promise that they will hold liquidity on the DEX, which adds liquidity throughout the network. And that is just a huge win for us because one of the major hurdles, at least in my point of view right now, the AtomicDEX network is great and the apps are great. However, we're lacking liquidity. So this year, one of our main focuses at Komodo is increasing the liquidity on the DEX. And I think that's one of the clearest goals that we can achieve with building the branded DEXs.
That was a great answer. Thanks for that. We have a question coming in from Nelson on our YouTube live stream that's asking, is AtomicDEX compatible with hardware ledger?
Not yet, but it is being worked on. And one of the reasons why it's not compatible at this moment is because the AtomicDEX requires several signatures during the atomic swap. That's why the client has to actually remain online, because as the atomic swap progresses, the client is actually signing transactions. So if we had a ledger integration, you would literally need to manually approve every transaction. So we have this has been brainstormed in the development team, and it is going to be solved so that hardware wallets will be able to be used. But the AtomicDEX process might change for hardware wallets, and also this goes along with I speak with our CTO Kadan, and one of the things that he wants to do be able to set a set and order. So currently, if you make an AtomicDEX order, you have to have the client online. And that's actually why it plays music on mobile, because for iOS, you have to have the music playing in order for it to remain online. But what he's trying to solve is for a user to be able to broadcast an order and actually come back to it hours later, and it will still fulfill itself. I think when we have solved that issue, the ledger problem is going to be nothing. It'll just be a one signature transaction, and it'll take care of the rest itself.
Thanks for the great answers. Those were three super killer questions. Do we
Good
want to keep on
question.
doing some? Yeah. Do we want to keep on doing some question and answers, or is it time that we need to move on now, Otto?
Yeah, I think it's good that we would take the final break, and then we will have the CS video, a CA interview to play for you guys. And on that video, CA will talk about 2021, the industry trends, and what's to come for Komodo. And of course, if there are questions, we can still have and keep the discussion ongoing. If there's interest, there's no rush for us to go anywhere. And then we do have that one final game left to play at the very end of this stream. So I would say let's take the 5-minute break. So get some snacks, and we will be right back.
All right.
If I asked even like back in the day
Sounds good. All right. All right, and welcome back to the break. Welcome back from the break for Komodo's live stream event, number 6 event coming out for Komodo here in February of our Discord. If you want to find out more about the events that we are doing in February, you can go to komodoplatform.com and you can go to our community page and always get our monthly scheduler here from one of the pins. You can also go to the Komodo homepage and find out what's going on during the first half of the year with Komodo. You can also come to our Discord and have some conversation with us about the various topics that we're dealing with and ask questions to the team, try to find out more information. This live stream event is all about AtomicDEX and the stable beta 040 release, which has also been accompanied by the AtomicDEX.io product explainer page that it is now easy to point somebody to, and when they go, what is AtomicDEX? And they can go here and get all the answers that they need and even start to work their project into the underlying Komodo DeFi engine, which is the protocol, which is the engine that bridges all the protocols in our space in a native way. We have the AtomicDEX app itself, stable beta 040. Here it is. You can see the trading interface. You can see the wallet. And we've got a dashboard where people can see, where you can view all of your assets from. I also want to be sure to give a shout out to our GitHub here at Komodo. Anybody to go there, I'll go ahead and drop this link in the chats. This is if you go to our GitHub, go ahead and click the star button up here. That helps you be notified when there's things going on with our GitHub. You can keep an eye on it with the watch. You can also, the link that I gave is specifically for reporting a bug if you find it, or adding in a suggested feature request. Those fields are set up so that you can fill them out with ease. Now we're going to go on ahead and move on to the game. It's a game now, I think, associated with or no, it's we're moving on to the help me out, Otto. Which one's the next part? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. We've got a video from our CTO, Kadan Stadelman, CA333, who is the lead of development here that has built out AtomicDEX, built out Komodo infrastructure, and is leading this project. And he has a lot of great comments to say about Komodo and what's to come for it this year. He did a great talk at the Crypto 2021 conference, and we have a video here to share with everybody on various sets of topics to be able to get his voice out here and get it heard.
If I asked even like back in the day, any of my guys and any of my teammates, like, why are you here? Like, what's your vision? What's your like ultimate goal? And they will tell me, look, we need like freedom on this planet. We don't have it, not in a financial view, not from a governmental, from a regulatory view. There is no real liberty. It's pretty much an illusion. And now we're living in a really hard time, in a time where even the illusion of liberty is being taken away. Nakamoto is a blockchain technology provider. We have a variety of different like blockchain tools and technologies that we've built in an open source fashion manner, and we provide this to the entire industry like for free. So my background is pretty much IT, you know, cyber technologies just in general. And in particular, I'd say like my stronger background comes from, you know, OPSEC, DevSec, and in fact, GovSec. That's where I come from. we believe that we have the power to provide the end users and in the end the citizens and the entire population of this planet the ultimate freedom. And this is like what it's all about, and this is like my background and why I came here, why I am still here today, and why we all are still building this. It's the belief, the wish, and the goal, the vision of true freedom. So with Komodo, you can build your own platform, right? But you can also just use the end user products that Komodo provides, such as an uncustodial wallet with a native DEX integrated, etc. But you could also go ahead and use the core DEX technology, which I personally would declare the most robust and solid Komodo technologies, and also the tech that we've put the most resources into, right? We talk about, this is like over half a decade of resources, multiple developers, full-time, like working on it. It's a third generation technology. And this is just like, I'm just scratching on the surface of what is Komodo, what is our technology, right? So I'd say whatever you want to build, regardless of if you're targeting to actually use blockchain technology or not, you could use the Komodo platform technology to build whatever you want to build. And instead of using centralized and obsolete technology stacks and frameworks, you'd be building on a truly trustless and decentralized technology stack that is 100% blockchain based. And I believe that's like the big thing with our tech stack, is that it's 100% trustless, decentralized, and permissionless. So it means anyone can use it. Developer, end user, even my grandmother. The DEX core, the so-called DEX engine, it's kind of like a library, right? If from a developer perspective, you can use it to build your own wallet. You can use it to build your own DEX. You could use an NFT marketplace and so on, right? This is not limited to cryptocurrencies. You could even use the core technology to exchange data, to exchange knowledge and information. We've seen how 2021 started, right? I mean, we're barely like 1 week into the new year. We've cracked the 1 trillion market cap for the entire crypto space. I think this is like one of the huge milestones everyone's been waiting for. I mean, I've seen like overnight, I don't know, like 100 additional billion US dollars in the market cap, right? Just like thrown into the market cap. And to me, this is like a huge sign, right? This is clear. We have like now big players, really institutional investors and firms joining this game. I believe this is a trend that's gonna like be still keeping up. Like this is something that's gonna continue, something that's gonna like steadily increase over the coming months. Technically, I really do see a huge financial potential in the crypto sphere, in this like industry, besides the technological potential of this stack that we're in. If we look at the financial market, I do see Bitcoin definitely cracking one record after the other, one all-time high after the other, likely on a weekly, on a daily base, something that's probably gonna extend to the majority of the crypto market, not just solely on Bitcoin and the big players such as Ethereum, but this is something we'll even like see in the lower market caps. Like we'll see like huge increase in market action operations, like the volumes. So I believe that the trends for 2021 certainly gonna like attract, in particular, the DeFi, the DEX space. We should be seeing a lot of like DEX projects mature, you know, and do further releases, just like become more solid, more robust, right? I mean, we see it with AtomicDEX, with our own DEX technology, that we've reached like a production-ready environment. And I hope and I believe that these are trends we're gonna see in 2021. In particular, but in general, in a wider scope, I do believe that the traditional industry is catching up, right? I mean, the traditional industry, not just like in fintech or in the digital space, but just in general, is more and more adopting the blockchain technology, like cryptocurrencies as such. I mean, we've seen a lot of like institutions and start like looking at Bitcoin as a reserve currency. A lot of them use it as a hedge against inflation. I mean, we have just a few, maybe a handful, two handful of institutional investors and VCs and firms that did this. But I believe we'll see many, many more like catch up and join. We'll see like official banks, we'll see big banks like join this game, right? They've all been just talking about it. If you look at JP Morgan, UBS, Credit Suisse, etc., many of them haven't really like joined the game yet. Their analysts keep talking about it, do some public statements about it, predictions, etc. These crypto forecasts from these analysts, but we didn't see them really make announcements such as we're gonna implement crypto into our banking solution. So if you for example, enter the online banking interface, you'll have like crypto there. Something that PayPal did. I do see like much bigger players like join this game and this rally, right? Of course, there are a lot of like technical trends as well that I do expect like to boost up. I believe the gaming layer, the gaming industry, to also try to grab a certain market share in the cryptocurrency industry. And we have a lot of other industries, right? I mean, supply chain and supply chain tracking, that's a big topic. A lot of parties have been like talking about, right? These industry sectors will definitely be using like the blockchain technology, right, for various things. From one perspective, it's just in general, supply chain tracking, something you could do like on a blockchain technology, right? Immutable, trustless, decentralized, distributed, 100% reliable. But furthermore, maybe they even start using crypto from other perspective, not just like from their from tracking and from supply chain operations, but even from a financial perspective, right? Have really more complex smart contracts implemented, where even payments for supply, etc., get like handled, regulated by the blockchain on a trustless basis. In the supply chain industry, there are like big deals. They're often these so-called like cashback deals. There's a lot of corruption going on an international level, right? Often it's not even like officially corruption. It's even legal corruption because it's done on contracts and there are signatures on it, and it's basically the people like the business stiffs wearing suits and cravats, and it's not considered like something illegal anymore. And I believe that the blockchain can help a lot on this side, right? So I think the trend towards truly decentralized, trustless technologies is still gonna like keep going, and we're gonna like see a big boost in various other industries catching up and jumping on the train, right? And trying to just grab a market share in this. I did like our most recent stress testing event a lot. I mean, it's something we've planned to actually just test and push and stress the AtomicDEX technology and basically validate, the technology status, because we thought it's like quite solid, and that's something we've done. We've achieved. We've got this validation. We've had over 200,000 unique swaps during this event. It was like a 2-day event. However, what I love most about this event was the community interaction that took place. We've connected to various other third-party communities. In the end, this stress test that we thought is going to be like a small Komodo event, it actually turned into something that you could like compare to a real blockchain expo event, right? Something like Consensus or the Block Expo in Paris, right? The Cointelegraph blockchain events, it was really something like that. We've been like talking all day long with different people from the space, from different projects. We've had the Ravencoin project, the Quantum project on board. We had like the Verus coin, just like to name a few of them. To me, in the end, that actually was more of a value, although I look at it like from a technical perspective. I have to admit that the social interaction factor was, for me, it was such a huge benefit. It was something that first I didn't expect it to move and go into this direction, and second of this, I didn't expect like the community to have this huge like engagement, specifically the third-party communities. And thus, really, based on this, I'm looking forward to the coming events. We're gonna like run similar events now on a quarterly base, where we will specifically involve third-party communities, communities that are joining the DEX ecosystem, communities that maybe are just interested in joining and want to see how this works out. We're going to combine this with these trading events and competitions like we did the last time. There were a lot of prizes to be won, right? I think there were like $5K in dollars just in cryptos that we gave away to the users, and we had a crazy boost. I mean, this event the last time, I'm glad for our marketing team how they planned it, that everyone who actually participated actively in this event won something. Like no one went away with with empty pockets, and it was like super amazing, super exciting from a technological perspective, but specifically from a community perspective, I think top-notch event. For 2021, I think we have a lot on our to-do list and just on the roadmap. In particular, I'd like to talk about like AtomicDEX specifically. We've put like over half a decade now, 6-7 years of really hard work into it, like a full team working on it. As of now, we've reached a pretty robust and stable like DEX technology foundation. The framework is pretty much like production ready. We're now just enhancing the peer-to-peer network stack. We're just like trying to make it more like efficient, right, from various perspectives. Maybe we reached this a level where you could just run AtomicDEX on a Raspberry Pi, for example, right? So like $30-40 device enables you to run a maker node, right? That basically is able to connect to the entire DEX network, to trade for you, to act as a wallet, a non-custodial, trustless wallet, etc. And we've also, over the last year, we've implemented further like ecosystem support or further blockchain protocol support. One example is, for example, Ethereum and the ERC20 ecosystem, right? It's a huge cryptocurrency ecosystem. So we're bridging not just like the Bitcoin and Komodo ecosystem over to Ethereum. We're even like building a multi-bridge from Ethereum over to Tezos back to Komodo, from Komodo to Ethereum to Tezos. And then we also have Cosmos, just for example, like the Tendermint ecosystem, huge. Binance is based, the Binance token, the BNB token is based on this. This is the next thing we're working on. We even have the Uniswap, a native Uniswap integration into AtomicDEX on our roadmap, right? So we're not just like interested in interconnecting the different blockchains and blockchain protocols. We even want to build an interoperability layer which has the power to connect different DEX protocols with each other. I don't want to necessarily be like in the top 3 crypto project, or to me it's like more important to be with people who are same-minded, who share the same vision.
All right, welcome back to the live stream. We just finished seeing Kiden Stadelman, who is Komodo's CTO, give us a lot of great information over various set of topics relating to Komodo, the future for Komodo, the future for AtomicDEX, and just basically like where we all are. If you didn't get to see that, you can rewind this live stream and see it, or we'll be sure to chop that out and put it onto our YouTube as part of the organization and content that we're going to have there. From now, what we have is we're going to be going ahead and answering a few questions that we have picked up, and then moving on towards the end of our live stream segment. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. I want to be sure to give a shout out to the AtomicDEX.io website product explainer that is now up. Everybody can go ahead and go check it out over there. We also have a new Twitter story at the top of our Reddit that is talking about the stable beta AtomicDEX 040 being live and all the things associated with it. We'd ask everybody that is listening in and likes Komodo, that is interested in this project, to go ahead and like that, retweet it, give us a comment on it. And you could also come to our Discord and live chat with us here. We also have Churro, who is a social media manager that has stepped up from the community to take on the task of building out our Reddit audience and has started a bounty there where 500 Komodo, our 500k MD bounty for our AtomicDEX release party. And here we have a whole bunch of memes being submitted for that. Go ahead and go and submit a meme and get your chance and opportunity at a portion of that 500k MD. We have PTYX Charles Gonzalez here in the chat with us. Delton, who is the director of content here and does all the wonderful writing. And they're going to pick up a few of the next questions that I have out. And I also want to give a moment shout out to Collider Coin for being integrated in this AtomicDEX 040 live beta. Collider Coin was mentioned at the AtomicDEX stress test as one of the projects that is building in unison with Komodo and along with Chips, which is a decentralized poker program. Collider Coin is a wonderful game and learning project. If you want to learn more about that, come to our Discord and connect with us about it. Also, Delton made a wonderful blog post about Collider Coin, which I think he's going to go ahead and drop in the Discord chat that anybody can pick up and see and check out. I'm going to go ahead and throw out a few questions that carry a few questions with voice to the live stream. Oh, there it is. Actually, there's that Collider Coin piece. Let me actually throw it up so people can see it for a second. Collider Coin, a great project, migrated to the Komodo ecosystem, has its own independent native built chain using the Komodo's multi-chain architecture. Gives you the more details and links and how to find it and get more about it. Absolutely great project. Okay, some questions to throw out before we close down this live stream from the community is we have, is AtomicDEX NFT compatible ready? So it's asking the question of, for AtomicDEX, which I'll throw this up in the live stream. This is AtomicDEX, by the way, for everybody that wants to know. Is it NFT compatible and is it ready?
The AtomicDEX, as it is right now, is not NFT compatible, but there are people in the community that are building a project around NFTs. Token is the name of the person that's heading the project. And the idea is that once that's ready, that it will be integrated into the AtomicDEX. And there's a few things to consider with the NFTs being available on the AtomicDEX. One of them is the trading of the actual tokens, which shouldn't be a big technical hurdle. The other thing is being able to visualize the actual NFTs, and that's more of a hurdle in my opinion, just because we have to make decisions on where these things are going to be stored. If they're going to be stored on IPFS or in a centralized server. And then the other thing that I was talking about yesterday with Kadan was about having some type of moderation for the NFTs, because as you know, there's always going to be someone that's going to upload something that's either illegal or maybe copyrighted. So we have to think and we have to assume someone will do that. And most likely there will have to be some type of system where maybe a group of moderators that are either voted in or some type of delegation is made for these reported NFTs to be looked at and to be taken down if required. Yeah, that's basically the plan for the NFTs.
That's a great answer. I know that there are some NFTs that are accessible on the Ethereum blockchain. Are those NFT and NFT systems available on AtomicDEX? Like if people wanted to get into trading them or something like that?
I don't believe so. I believe that the standard that we're currently trading on the AtomicDEX is the ERC20 standard, and the NFTs are either ERC 127s or some other standard. But I don't think it should be a big technical hurdle to make them compatible with the DEX. It would just be a matter, because I mean, at the end of the day, the NFT is just a token, and you have to visualize the actual art behind that token. That's more of the technical aspect or technical hurdle of being able to trade them on the DEX.
That's awesome. All right, we have a question about Ethereum 2.0. It says, how are you integrating into Ethereum 2.0? Will Ethereum gas go down on your DEX when this goes live?
Yep, that's definitely since the AtomicDEX is basically dependent on the native blockchain transaction costs. As long as E 2.0 has lower fees, or even if the Ethereum ecosystem makes an update where they lower the fees, that would translate to lower fees on the DEX.
Awesome. We have a question that says, it says, will there be an added feature, stake and earn? And I'm almost certain that this question is being asked about staking, basically staking coins and being able to earn. So for example, like Cardano, ADA, I think has like a staking situation. And is that available for that coin? Because we already have the KMD active user rewards, which I'll show here in my browser or in this stream, where you can go and if you hold KMD on AtomicDEX, you can claim rewards 5% per year, claiming them at least once per month in order to achieve that. Is that kind of situation going to be available or featured for other coins as well if people want to hold them in their multi-coin wallet here on AtomicDEX?
As of now, it's not one of our main focuses. Again, I think it's not a big technical hurdle because there's all other implementations that we could look at for light wallets that already do this. So if there was enough of an appetite for it, the development team would just need to allocate resources to it. But as of now, it's not like our main focus.
Sounds good. We have another question comes through that says, can you offer KMD as a bounty like a payback action? And we're pretty sure what this is asking about is that when you go to stores and you buy things with KMD, or you go online, you buy things with KMD, sometimes you can get cash back in crypto. And the question is asking, can you get cash back in KMD?
Jason mentioned while we were on break, it's a good idea. The thing is that it would be like a major undertaking actually have something like this implemented, and to have it implemented widely enough to actually be used. Just because you have to basically get the credit card issuers or the debit card issuers involved in the cashback. So not a focus as of right now, but a good idea.
All right, and we have a great question for, will there be a Fiat on-ramp? I know this is one of the major like topics for DEXs and just exchanges in general, is that it's no big deal if you're already in crypto, but if you're not in crypto, the conversation usually is like go to Coinbase, sign up, buy some with whatever your local region fiat is, and then schlep it off to wherever wherever it belongs. Like in this case, like schlep it off to a non-custodial solution like AtomicDEX. But in the future, is there going to be any options or ability for there to be a fiat on ramp onto AtomicDEX so a user could just download AtomicDEX and avoid the whole hurdle of having to go through multiple platforms to get their fiat into crypto?
Yeah, that's actually coming into the forefront most likely in the next release of the Atomic Dex as well as the Doge Dex. And thanks to Jason, who's also working on the business development side, we secured a partnership with Indacoin. So that is most likely the on-ramp that we'll use for non-US customers. And we will be working on a US friendly on-ramp for those customers. But I think we should expect for the next release to have a fiat on-ramp on Atomic Dex, and then subsequently on the Doge Dex, which it's one of the biggest things that people are asking for. I guess in regards to Doge, mainly because the way that people buy is through Robinhood, and they actually aren't able to withdraw. So from the feedback that we got from developers, if we added a would be for community.
Yeah, it'd be super killer. Oh man. Great answer again. So the last question I'm going to leave with is asking about the regional conversations with Komodo and its impact globally. We know that we have a worldwide audience here out with Komodo, and I want this question to be directed towards both Delton and PTYX, who are both dealing with these things from different aspects. We have some. It's just what's going on with like our regional communications, so that we aren't just always just locked up in the U.S. and U.K. as like our primary and using English as our primary language. Like, are we investigating this, and do we have a plan for it, and those kind of things?
Yeah, I could talk about this from the blog perspective at least. So, a lot of times when I write a post in English, it's pretty much like translated relatively quickly into Spanish and Russian now. So, for instance, if you want to learn how to download Atomic Dex, there probably will be like a post in these two languages on the respective blogs. So, if you go to blog.komodoplatform.com and you see the language drop down, those two will be covered. And I also think the communities have their own blog posts as well. So they have like specific campaigns. So if they have like some kind of bounty campaign on Telegram or Twitter, then you'll see the information and the details about that in their individual blogs. So these aren't specific to English, but they're actually specific to the various regional communities. And yeah, we're just looking to expand to other languages as well. Yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be doing in the future.
In regards to the Spanish community, we brought together a team of two that are heading the Spanish community on Telegram and the Twitter in Spanish. And I really I'm very surprised of how much interaction they've been able to get in a short amount of time. I mean, currently, I think the Spanish community in the years prior was very small, had no interaction at all. And if you go into the Komodo Spanish Telegram now, you'll see that there's a lot of activity. They set up like schedules of different weekly activities where doing different things like questionnaires and bounties and things like this. And they're basically Komodo and then rewarding them for that education. Was interesting yesterday. The activity that I saw is they did a questionnaire where where a community member had to find another community member, partner up. So they had to build a team, and then they would win like team-based rewards. It was pretty cool, and they had a lot of interaction. So it's growing, and I hope that we can replicate it for the other communities, like the Russian community and possibly the Turkish community, which I know there's a lot of Turkish community members that I've seen on Telegram, and we have the professor who's very well known in that community. So maybe we can replicate those things there.
Yeah, that's super awesome. There was just out of curiosity, was this Komodo debate? I'm just looking at the
Right, yeah.
blog. I went to komodoplatform.com and I selected the Explore, and the drop down from there took me to the Komodo library. And I found myself here in the Spanish articles, and I saw this Komodo debate one. Is this something that you know about, Delton and PTY? You can maybe share a little
Yeah,
bit about
that's
that.
literally what I was actually just talking
Yeah,
about.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's we have some amazing communities all over the globe, and they're absolutely fantastic. All right, that's all the questions that I have on my list. I'm going to hand it back to Otto to close it out, as far as I know, unless we have another section going on. Thank you so much, everybody that came and listened. Don't forget to go to komodoplatform.com and keep an eye on our community page for the next scheduled event that comes out. You can sign up for our newsletter to get the review and recap of this month, and the reminder to claim your rewards on AtomicDEX for your KMD active user rewards, so you don't have to forget to do that. Also, don't forget to download the latest version of AtomicDEX. You can get that from the komodoplatform.com page by going to AtomicDEX in the navigation, or by going to our wonderful new explainer. Oops. Haha. Going to our wonderful new product explainer page, atomicdex.io. Select download choice there. Sign up for our newsletter. Share this out on Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us as we're now live and opening those communications on Reddit. We have a Telegram that is active, and all of March is going to be about pursuing these social media channels and getting us out into the larger conversation now that we have more and more and more content to be pushing out.
And here you can see, go to the Komodo Twitter, be sure to follow here, retweet, check out this amazing thread that our Twitter manager and growth hacker BK created. A lot of good info here about the release and what this means to us. Links to all the places for more info, like our blog posts and the live streams. So tons of info here, just read it through, give us a retweet. By now, I think it's time to move to the last segment of the stream, which is the last game. So we're gonna be guessing a seed price shown on the screen. Of course, it is hidden now. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words on this sentence. And if you can guess these 8 words and what they are, then you go and open the AtomicDEX wallet that you have installed. You add a custom seed price and you type in what you believe to be the correct seed that we are guessing here. Then you log into the wallet, and if you find 50 KMD from there, then you guessed correctly. Then just the final step is to move the 50 KMD out of the public wallet to your own wallet, and that way you claim the bounty. So of course only one person will claim it, so whoever's the first gets the 50 KMD. We will be guessing the seed by revealing the characters one by one. So we'll be starting to ask those soon. You can join the Komodo Discord to participate. That is the channel I have the benefit to follow for this game. I have also loaded up the address here. we will keep monitoring this to see when the 50 KMD is claimed. And as we can see from the page now, it's still there. So now it's time to start the game. So give me a letter to reveal first. D.
Start with K.
Too late.
always start with K. Should always be like the free letter when you start, right?
Oh yeah, free letters. I forgot about those.
Okay, so you guys have to just bear with me for a moment here. So first letter is D. So we do have some D's here. Let's see how many. Four D's.
Whoa.
Okay. I don't know if I should just go in order to be fair. So then we have R. So D passed from Kuiper. So I'll go to Kuiper. Then Karis is asking for an R. So let's go for an R next. 1.1. And a second. And a third one too. Okay, so 2 letters behind us. Now it's time to look back in. And we can see that no one has yet claimed it. So it's still there. Let's keep playing.
Sometimes it's been guessed so fast and like barely any of the words are out, and then other
Yeah.
times it's like
Yeah, other times like when,
Yeah,
when
I don't want
when
to
it
go
gets-
too fast to give people a chance to think about it. But next one will be from Ernie, who requested an A with a please. So let's find the A's.
Ria Knox in our Discord says that the fourth word is Komodo Dex.
All right, I found
It's
2 A's so far.
interesting, Wes.
One more there.
We have a guess from both our YouTube and our Discord at the same time that both are guessing G. I think the G is going to be one.
yeah.
Oh, I missed what you guys described about the G. And
Yeah, a G.
you guys want a G? Okay then, popular request.
Yeah.
Double request.
No, there's no G here. So we got D, R, A, and G revealed, but no G's. And it's still there. So let's take the next one. Bool. I'm just going in order from which the game. So Bool is asking for an U. Let's give an U. Only one U was just revealed. Still time, but I think clock is ticking.
What's the last word?
Oh, you cannot guess.
I don't remember. Oh wow, it's still the wallet. Yeah.
Well, let's get the next one. Next one we have Arachi wants the K. Let's get the K.
Yeah, the K is a solid one.
Yeah, I think that's gonna help.
I'm really surprised we actually have a lot of live chat coming out of our YouTube channels more and more.
Yeah, there has been a lot of activity. Glad to see it.
What does the K help? There's no K, or am I blind?
Oh, is there no K?
There,
I don't remember the answer.
I think it should be at least one.
Ozzy and so maybe the prize got scooped up.
Oh yeah, there is one K. Okay, I'm blind, obviously now. But let's check the situation after I put the K here, like I was supposed to do. Did someone get it? Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations. I think next time I need to set this up for the next stream so that we are looking at this one, so we see it immediately on the screen when the network sees a claim.
That would be cool. This is a good game. I like this one. Lilsey says a huddle KMD on AtomicDEX for active user rewards.
Yeah. That was it.
Awesome.
And if there's any other gaming ideas, like so we are about to end the stream here, but I do want to explain that we are looking to do more and more live stream events. We are trying to do at least one every month. Very likely we will do even more, like we have done in February. And then also for next month we have planned a little bit bigger event than normally. And then of course in June we have a giant one, let's just say that way. And that is the June blockchain conference from Komodo. And then on Thursday we have Tuesday town halls at 4 p.m. UTC or 1600 UTC. I hope to see everyone there. And I don't know if we should adopt some sort of a game policy for the Tuesday town halls and play one game every Tuesday town hall. Because I think if everyone likes this, we can keep going. At least it's fun for us. And then
Yeah.
I want to
That sounds
lay
good.
down for that.
Yeah. And I want to ask everyone to come up with other ideas. So of course this game is inspired by the Wheel of Fortune TV game, but there might be other games that we could think of that we could be running on the stream. And then also we are using OBS for the setup, and if there's some sort of capable person who would like to get involved and do something, like we can use all kind of widgets through OBS. We could make some custom widget, custom game. We could do something like that. We are all open for ideas, and we have bounties available if someone got some great ideas that we could be doing to increase the quality of the gaming experience here on the Komodo stream. So for our ideas, just hop on to our Discord, join the join the conversation, and join our marketing meetings that we are having here on the Discord. Usually almost every day, depending on the day. And what else could we say? Just join the Reddit bounty contest organized by Churro. Stay lookout for a Twitter bounty competition. Should be starting tomorrow, organized by our Twitter manager VK. And then I guess that is JC or Delton or PGY. Any other words, shout outs?
I think that's it as far as I know.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. So see you guys on the next stream. Bye bye.